There's a matching couplet that says, people of the East and
鬼东洋鬼西洋鬼
okay. Ghosts of the East and ghosts of the West. Southern ghosts.
南洋北洋鬼打鬼
In the South and in the North, it's ghosts fighting ghosts.
老天戏挺高
Ghosts cheating ghosts.
戏
Hitting ghosts. Okay. In the East, I call the Easterners ghosts, and I call the Westerners ghosts. Whether they exist in the North and the South, I don't know. But it's people hitting people, and ghosts hitting ghosts. This is the scientific age. And we all connect with the auspicious source. We all connect with the magic. People and ghosts alike connect with the magical essence. And everything in the world is Tongling, has this connection with communicates with the essence. Now, is this a new name or? And ghosts alike connect with the magical essence. And everything in the world is Tongling, has this connection with communicates with the essence. Now, is this a new name or an old name? I don't really know. But there's a second line. Couplets have a matching line. And the second line of the couplet goes, if you use principle to subdue people...
礼仪的礼
Oh, li'i. Etiquette, okay. If you use etiquette, courtesy to subdue people, you use principle to subdue people, your righteousness to subdue people, you use a sense of rectitude, sense of its lian, right? Incorruptibility.
不是
lian
服的服是佩服的
Oh, respect. Sorry, okay. Correction, this is not 服从, 不是相服, it's 佩服的服. So, we respect people by their courtesy. We respect people by means of righteousness. We use incorruptibility with respect to people. We use a sense of shame to respect people. And it is people respecting people. So that's the matching line. Above was ghosts hitting ghosts, and here we have people respecting people. So the reason that this happens is when ghosts hit ghosts,
人不要小鬼
people don't want to do what ghosts do. When ghosts hit ghosts, they don't have any regrets.
不要小鬼人
不要
people no study
Don't-
God
Okay. People don't want to study the way ghosts do. We don't want to learn from ghosts. When ghosts hit ghosts, they have no regrets. They don't regret it.
God can learn to people
Ghosts can learn from people. That's the way it should be. It shouldn't be that people study from ghosts. We should learn to respect people. We should use etiquette, courtesy, to make people respect us. We should use righteousness to have people,
不是to us
each other. Yes.
不是单单要人恭敬你你也要恭敬人一起要走
We should use righteousness, to mutually respect each other. We should use a sense of incorruptibility, a sense of personal integrity towards other people. We should use a sense of shame to bring people to respect each other. Then the world will be peaceful. The reason that wars occur in the world is because we don't know to respect each other. We do this by taking the Buddha's mind as our own mind, and by taking the Buddha's vows as our own vows. A verse says, all men I consider to be my father. All women I consider to be my mother. As we look at all people in the world, men and women, this way, we're not talking simply in terms of one birth or two births, but all my rebirths from beginningless time past. All men have been my father in the past, and I see all women as having been my mother in the past. Since they have been my father and my mother, I should respect them and not disrespect them. This is using the human attitude, the human heart. I should... Buddhist? Okay. This is using a Buddhist attitude, the attitude of the Buddha towards people. I respect all elders as I respect my own elders. And I take care of all young people as I would care for and respect my own young people. That's to say, I apply to my others what I apply to myself. What others would not like, what I myself would not like done to me, I don't do to others. If we can use this golden rule, then there will be no wars in the world. Ghosts hit ghosts because they don't know to respect each other. They don't know to yield to each other. This is the scientific era, the era of technology, and you can say we have forgotten the roots. True science is not found in science's inventions. True science is rooted in wisdom. Only with wisdom can we use science correctly and technology. If we don't have wisdom, we won't be able to use the technology we invent. We go outside to invent things, but we don't know to return the illumination, to reflect inside, and invent our own wisdom. We don't know how to use the prajna wisdom, how to discover. Okay, good. How to discover our own wisdom. We don't know how to discover the prajna wisdom in our own minds that can lead us to understanding technology and science. We only know to invent scientific machines. We have forgotten our own wisdom. This is called overlooking the roots and pursuing the branch tips. We only know to apply ourselves on the superficial aspects, but how to discover the genuine science we have forgotten. The basic substance of science and technology is wisdom, and the substance of that is way virtue. The substance of wisdom, the basis of it is way virtue. So we need way virtue, virtue in the path, if we're going to have wisdom. Only then can we say we have truly discovered external science. The Buddha, as he spoke the sutras thousands of years ago, already said this. He penetrated scientific discovery to the ultimate point. He said, the Buddha inspected a single bowl of water and saw 84,000 insects. The Buddha held up a glass of pure water, and when we see the water, we don't see anything with our ordinary human eyes. But when the Buddha uses his wisdom to look inside the water, he can see 84,000 living creatures, 84,000 bugs in the water. So the second line goes, and if I neglect to recite this mantra, then it's just as if I'm eating the flesh of living beings. So when we drink that water, left home people recite a mantra too. Now the Buddha didn't expand into the investigation of science per se. He instead taught us to reflect inside, to cultivate the way. So if we shouldn't give up the roots, and we shouldn't assume that technology and science is so wonderful, because this is simply borrowing external conditions. We don't know how to exploit our own resources to the fullest point. Everything in the world that has an advantage also has harm to it. Things come in pairs. There is success, there will also be failure. If there is good, there will also be bad. Science has led every family now to invite a ghost and an immortal, a spiritual immortal, into our homes. What is the ghost I'm talking about? A television set. And the spirit immortal is the computer. In fact, these names are not exactly right. I call them both goblins. They are both weird creatures. They eat up our energy and our essence. TV, as soon as the TV is on, we fix our eyes on the television set. We just glare at it, and we wash our ears out to listen. Now, I'm sure we listen to the TV much more closely than we listen to the lecture right now, for instance. We enter into the television samadhi. And when the computer goes on, because the computer knows everything and it can answer all our questions, we enter the computer samadhi. Now look, people are so strange. We don't know how to enter the Buddha recitation samadhi, but as soon as the computer goes on, we just go right into this trance, this concentration. The same it is with televisions, with radios, with telephones. For instance, boy students, girl students, they get on the telephone, and who knows what they're saying, but they can talk and talk for hours and hours on end. They're never tired. They're never fatigued in the least. They just wait in school all day long, and there's no way to talk on the phone there. So as soon as they get home, they pick up the phone, and away they go, and they talk and talk. How much valuable time is wasted on the telephone? If we really can't use it, then this technology cheats us. But if we can use it, then there is a place for it. It has its use. In the technological age, our lives have done a great turnaround. Our lives have transformed during this age of technology. What is it? We have the ability to learn without a teacher. Without even being taught, we know how to use these things. For instance, machines have become our teachers, and toys have become our teachers. Kids nowadays, children know how to kill, how to set fires, how to use drugs, how to be promiscuous, and how to sell drugs. This is a very common thing in the United States. We learn it from the TV. And now in Taiwan, there's even this kind of thing going on. A mother brought her daughter in to see me the other day, and her eyes were as fierce as an Ashura. Her eyes were very fierce. As a Bawang? Okay, her eyes were as fierce as a warlord, as a great tyrant. And what was her problem? She was ready to kill her little brother. Why was she going to kill her baby brother? So she could be famous. She wanted to leave a name that would be passed on through the generations. How would it happen? She was going to kill him and get her name in the paper so that it would spread between the 4 seas and then commit suicide, all for the sake of fame. So look how terrible this is. Children have become the transformation bodies, the personifications of computers and TV. Their changes are endless and infinite. So ultimately, the substance, the basis of technology is human wisdom. If we can use it, then we can benefit the world. But there are also harm to the entire world if we don't know how to use it. Now, a while ago, someone asked me, what was the secret of eating? And I don't know. I don't want to answer this question, because I myself personally don't know how to eat. This is something you should know yourselves. You don't have to ask me. You all know the answer already. Why do I say I don't know how to eat? This is because I don't eat any flavored food. I don't eat anything that has oil or salt on it. All of my disciples, you can see, also have learned how to not eat. They don't know how to eat either. Why? Because look how thin they are. If they knew how to eat, then they certainly wouldn't look the way they do. If they knew how to eat, they wouldn't eat 1 meal a day the way we do. They would eat 8 meals a day. But we all eat just 1 meal a day. So we're just like children. We don't know anything. We don't even know how to eat. So please don't ask me this question, what is the secret of eating, because I won't answer.
但是我简单的说一说这个吃饭的问题。吃饭呢，我先向你们各位来问一问，是为着活着，还是活着为着吃饭？你们各位告诉我，然后再答复你们这个问题。活着为什么？活着为什么？活着要为自己，自己就要不活着，不什么问题都没有了嘛。人不错，吃饭是为了活着，可是活着呢，绝不是为着吃饭。那么为着什么呢？咱们要为造福人间。 我们要以先教教后教，我们要做一些个有功于世、有德于民、有利于天下众生，要做这些事情，那才是这个生命活着有意义。要单为自己，那一点意义都没有。这个自己活着不活着，这有什么问题的？所以我们大家把这个题目认清楚了，我们就知道怎么样做人了。这个题目你要认不清楚一天到了晚间呢，趴在那个地方也不知道干什么那么方才说法师，你说你这个互相人与人呢互相恭敬，我方才看见呢，人人都给你叩头，我没看见你给谁叩头不错，我的叩头你们看不见，你们要看见呢，那你们更看不起我了。因为我从12岁就给所有的众生叩头你们知道吗？从12岁开始给所有的众生叩头，所以现在你们各位无论哪一位给我叩头，这是我早放出去的高利贷，你们现在还债呢。
So I will simply answer your question about eating, however. The question is, I want to ask you a question in answer. The question is, do you eat to live or do you live to eat? And some people say, well, of course we eat just to live. And in the answer, the question is, well, why are you living? The answers were, one person said to end birth and death, one person said for ourselves. That's right. I want to tell you one thing for sure. That's right. If you are living for yourself, then if you don't live, then you'll have no problems at all. If you can put an end to life that way, solve all your problems. You're right, however. Eating is definitely for the purpose of living on. It's not the case that we live solely for the purpose of food. That's not right. Actually, in fact, what we are here on earth for is for those who awaken first to bring awakening to those who come behind, and to create blessings for all of humankind. We want to have virtue towards the world. We want to have merit towards the world, virtue towards people, and benefit towards all under heaven, that's to say the whole world, and for living beings. If we know how to set this question right, then we know what it means to be a person. Otherwise, we're simply like flies, buzzing north and bumping our noses, east, south, west, and bumping our heads at every turn. And when nightfall comes, we don't even know how we got where we got. So that's the way we are otherwise. Now somebody may say, Dharma Master, you just a moment ago said we should mutually respect each other. Well, everybody was out there bowing to you. I didn't see you bow to anybody in return. Well, in fact, I did bow, but you simply couldn't see me. You couldn't see the way I bowed. I'll tell you how I did it. I'm afraid that if you saw me, you might look down on me, you might not respect it. From the age of 12 years, I bowed to every single living being. That was what I did. I began it when I was 12 years old and bowed to every single living being in the world. So you might say that there's not a single one of you today who hasn't been bowed to, and so now you're returning the bows with a high rate of interest.
那个刚才说这个心呐，要明白，可是现在的人呐，根本就不知道有心了。怎么说呢？圣人也说过这话，就是这个孟老夫子啊说人呐，有鸡犬放，才知求之；有放心，爱之。说人呐，有这个鸡犬要丢了他就知道去找一找。各处啊，叫小鸡就咕咕咕咕咕往回叫。那么这狗要丢了，就叫这狗的名字回对这个名字，回对那个名字就叫，会叫。可是啊，这心丢了，他不找，不知道去找心。这个心啊，放屁挟持无不为，什么都干，也不去找去。所以啊，孟老夫子也没办法，这一类就是说哀哉说真可怜，这真可怜。那么还有几句话说的也是很好。有一个人问孔子，说是你见没见过有人搬家把他太太忘了不搬去孔子就说了，今之人且忘其身。说现在的人呢，不但把太太不搬了，连他自己的身体他都忘了。那么身体忘了，这是一个这个什么？现在的人把心都忘了。你说咱们大家研究起来呀，这个做人糊里糊涂就生出来，又糊里糊涂这么糊涂活着。等到时候就跑了，就死了。这个你说爱的大家都这样，都这样，到底有什么意思？说我呀干了很多事情，我呀发明了很多科学的技术，给世界留下一个我是科手我这个留名千古。留名千古和益寿万年都差不多的。流芳千古也是个名，益寿万年还是个名，可是这一个善名一个恶名我们大家要择善而从，不善而改，是道在进，非道在退。我所说的话是净说一些个疯话，希望各位要是听到这个疯话的是讲疯话的人呢，那么对他慈悲一点。
Just now we were talking about the mind. That you should understand the workings of the mind. But most people don't understand their mind. That's why Mencius said, when people lose their chickens or dogs, they know to look for them. But when people let go of their minds, they don't know how to look for their minds. Isn't that pathetic? That's because people give in to debauchery and all kinds of really depraved actions, and there's nothing that they wouldn't do. And Mencius said, this is really pitiful. There's another exchange. Some men came and asked Confucius, is it possible for a man when he moves house to forget to bring his wife along? And Confucius said, well, nowadays, not only do they do that, they forget their own bodies. This means not only do they forget to bring their wives along, they even forget about their bodies. Now, it's one thing to forget your body, but worse still, people have forgotten their minds. So we are born muddled, we live a muddled life, and we die muddled. Now, someone says, well, everybody does this. But think it over. What meaning does our life have if we do this? Someone says, I'm a scientist. I've made a lot of scientific inventions, so my name is going to stay for posterity. Well, actually, to have your name stay on and on for posterity is really just the same as having notoriety forever. It's still a matter of name. It's either a good name or a bad name, but it's just a name. So whatever I've said, if it's wholesome, then take it with you. But if it's not wholesome, then change it. If it accords with the way, then make progress. If it doesn't go with the way, then withdraw from it. I have simply spoken a lot of wild, crazy talk, and I hope that you are forgiving and compassionate to somebody like myself.